Happy Friday. This is Kevin Gemmell, the senior content writer at ChefWorks, and welcome to another episode of Perspectives. This is our weekly Q&A where we talk to all kinds of people from the culinary and hospitality industries, whether that's chefs, bartenders, servers, culinary group executives, small business owners. This week, we're actually really going to put the emphasis on hospitality. We are joined by Summer Nixon, who is the co-founder and operator of Brew Hop. Summer, thank you so much for joining us on Perspectives. Give us an idea of what Brew Hop's all about.
Sure. Hi. Brew Hop has been around since 2007. We are a custom and private brewery tour. So for years, we have picked up private parties and taken them in luxury transportation to 4 or 5 of our 156 breweries that we work with here in San Diego County. And we've taught them a little bit about how beer is produced. We have taught them about how to taste craft beer and what's going on in the craft beer industry. And we drink copious amounts of craft beer throughout the process.
Obviously, the landscape has changed pretty dramatically over the last 6 months. How have you had to pivot your business?
You know, I was actually invited to help another company who specializes in events, who pivoted very quickly to virtual events, and virtual beer tasting was something they wanted to incorporate. So it's a long-standing partner we've had. They brought me in to be their beer tasting expert. And we are now creating virtual beer tasting events that can be themed. They can be directed for sales meetings. They can be directed as sales rewards or trainings for teams. It gives everyone a chance to bring everyone together virtually. We have beer arrive at their homes, so they're home, they're safe, and everyone gets the same beers to taste and explore together. And I lead them through a craft beer tasting. Sometimes we have food paired with it, sometimes we have chocolate paired with it. But it's just a chance for everyone to sit back and relax and laugh and learn a little bit about craft beer from outside of their region.
So let's just say I've got a birthday coming up next month, my 23rd. Don't let the gray hair fool you. So if I wanted to have a virtual birthday party with my friends in Chicago and in San Diego and in Maine, how would I go about doing that?
The first thing we would do is you and I would talk about what you want to taste and from where. Do you want to focus on Oktoberfest beers from Europe and the States? Do you want to focus on Belgians, sours, or are you an IPA guy who loves IPAs and wants to do hazy and clear IPAs? So we'd talk about what it is that you want to taste, how many you'd like to taste, and we'd put together a custom package for you and your friends. And then we would all arrange on the back end a Zoom meeting that is moderated so that people can throw questions out through the chat. They can throw questions out while we're talking. And I would meet you online. You'd have beer arrive at your door a few days in advance of the event. And you'd throw them in the fridge and you'd crack them open as soon as we sit down together. And we would just start by talking about what to look for in beer tasting, who these breweries are, what some of their great stories are, what they're doing right now, and what you're tasting.
You're so knowledgeable about beer. Where did that come from? What was the origin story? When did you decide that you wanted to make beer such a huge part of your life?
Well, beer was a huge part of my life before I decided to do this professionally. But about 13 years ago, my husband, who was then my boyfriend, wanted me to drive him and all of his friends around for his birthday. And I said, no, somebody must do that. There is no reason for me to drive you guys. I want to sit back and enjoy the drinks too. And as we did our research, nothing like this existed nationwide. So we started speaking to the local breweries in town about how they would feel about us bringing in groups of people to tour their brew houses, learn about their breweries, taste their craft beer, and everyone was on board. Everyone thought that was a great idea. So we just started offering the tours and we built it and people showed up and they've been showing up for 13 years. Even still when we're closed, we have people calling wanting to go on a brewery tour.
Well, it's Friday morning here on the West Coast, but I'm sure it's 5 o'clock somewhere. You mentioned you're in deep conversations with brewmasters and breweries. What are you hearing from them? What's sort of the state of their industry right now?
You know, it has been inspiring to watch how people have pivoted so quickly and how they have changed their operations in order to protect their employees, protect their clients, adhere to the regulations as they're changing. People in this industry have really stepped up together to create systems so that everybody can function and everyone can get their questions answered. There's ongoing Facebook groups that have lists of current breweries, current hours, whether they're available for to-go, for full meals, people have partnered with restaurants and food trucks to offer full meals in order to stay open through this. So the innovation has been incredible. The partnerships have been incredible, seeing how people have worked together to make this work. You've seen places like Pure Project has opened up an entire beer garden across from Balboa Park in an empty parking lot that was slated to be some condo. And they've brought in a pizza oven so they can offer full food, and it's right across from their tasting room. You've got locations like Stone Brewing down in Liberty Station, who has essentially the largest restaurant in San Diego County. They normally have seating for over 800 people, and that's not happening right now. And so they rented out their front patio garden space to Breakfast Republic next door in order to have Breakfast Republic increase their outdoor footprint. So you're seeing levels of participation and working together to get through this that is really inspiring.
Well, Summer, thank you so much for joining us, offering your insight and your expertise. We really appreciate it, and best of luck to you and Brew Hop.
Thank you.
My thanks again to Summer Nixon for joining us on Perspectives. If you like what you saw, please make sure that you subscribe to ChefWorks on YouTube. You can do that by clicking here, and also follow us on all of our social media channels, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. Now, if you want to read more of my interview with Summer, you can go into the video description and follow it to blog.chefworks.com. And while you're there, hang out for a little bit. We got some great stories about chefs. We have our Weekly Bites, which is our roundup of industry news. If you want to read about how Chef Brian Malarkey bombed his very first TV audition, we've got that story up there. If you want to read about Chef Dayani De La Cruz becoming the first woman to oversee a culinary program for a Super Bowl, we've got that up there. Or even if you want to learn more about some of our products like the Skilled Series face coverings, that's all on there too. Thank you so much for joining us on Perspectives, and we'll see you next time. Eat well, drink well, and be well.